The time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the sky from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up of the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud.
Yes, family. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Rosera Menin. Yes, family. One perfect balance. Yes, family. Welcome to a magnificent Monday of Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, please feel free to correct us. It is that simple. Just adjust the lighting right here real quick. Yeah. So I trust and I hope that everybody had a wonderful weekend and that all is well. Today is another glorious day. I want to send special greetings to one of our very own day oneers that was here from the beginning. Our very own, well, what I could say is, happy solar return. Happy solar return. We were raised to celebrate the birthday. They say, happy birthday. This is your birthday. So we celebrate birthdays. And in fact, we only birthed once, and that's when we first came. And that was it. That's the only day we actually have. So we say we celebrate the birthday, but yet we count how many birthdays we've had. And the truth is we only had one. So, but we have many solar returns in terms of our rotation. So we give thanks for you being here in your state of being celestial. Gratitude, love, and affection always towards you and the family. Upfulness and joyfulness right through. So we sending energy from the Caribbean Isles all to you, wherever you are in your sacred space. Yes, the divine being. Having said that, family, I know y'all probably missed us last week. When what happened to Politically Incorrect, we were dealing with some international affairs. There's meetings that lasted for hours, just didn't give us the time to put things in motion. But nevertheless, we thank you for staying the course and holding down the headquarters firm. The question tonight is, where do we go from here? A lot has happened. We had the brother came, Ifatunde Omar, and we had other folks coming in, and we had a lot of talks, a lot of forums, other platforms. A lot of stuff was said. But, a lot was said. Where do we go from here? I definitely want to touch on a part of that. It's just going to be a little crazy, but I want to touch on a part of that. I want to play a clip by our brother Adrian Green. I'll do that in a second. But I also want to drop this lyrics real quick for a tune I have here. Y'all gonna love it. Quite interesting. Listen to the lyrics of this tune. Very interesting time we in. Very interesting time. So I'm gonna take a little detour tonight. Do something a little different in terms of the type of genre we would kind of play. It's a Kaiso. Well, we're in the season for soca, so I got a song tonight, man, that's classic. I won't play the whole thing, but I'll definitely drop the link in the comments for those who are interested in doing so. I'll definitely drop that link. Yeah. But it's by a general, man. That's all I could call this man. He's a general in this thing, long time. And I'm just going to upload that real quick. Some of y'all might know it, some of y'all might not know it. Nevertheless, the question is the same thing. Where do we go from here? Ironically, he's asking the same question. Where do we go from here? So in the meantime, I want you to do go tell a friend to tell a friend. I see you, Beverly. I see the sunflower in the building. Lioness, Empress in the building. Give thanks for you all as well. I see security in full effects as well. So go tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, and subscribe. You all already know this thing go. But I'm going to play this tune real quick. This right here. This right here. And if y'all know this gentleman right here. But this one right here. Classic, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, family. Tell a friend, family. Question.
More questions than answers. In these times here of man-made and natural disasters. Questions we asking, no answers we are finding. For the stranger than fiction,
Yes.
things we witness happen. Every day we look around where there's more confusion. The problems intensify without no solution. Helplessly man stand in this wonderland, wondering his fate at some problems he created. So I'm asking where do we go from here? That's my question to all mankind. Answer me where do we go from here? When you
Where do we go from here, family?
The reason why. And if I knew that triangle is yet still a marvel. Egotistic fanatics now rule over their bombs and guns and phone control. Tell me where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here, family? Wait a minute, hold on, man. I gotta pull that up real quick. I gotta answer the question, man. Y'all understand this thing though? I mean, this ain't nothing new. I gotta pull that tune again, man. Man. We gotta really think about it, man. As a people, as a nation, in spite of all that's being said, I mean, you promised roads, you promised buses, you promised garbage cans. All right. We see some roads, we see some garbage cans, we see some buses. What about the social condition of the people, the economic condition of the people? You know, you're pursuing social partnership and development goals.
More questions than answers.
More questions than answers,
these
man.
times here of man-made and natural disasters. Questions we asking, no answers we are finding. For the stranger than fiction,
Yeah, than
things we
fiction,
witness
man.
happen. Every day we look around where there's more confusion.
More confusion, man.
The problems intensify without no solution.
No
Helplessly
solution.
man stand in this wonderland, wondering his fate at some problems he created. So I'm asking where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here, people?
Question to all mankind.
Where do we go from here, people?
Where do we go from here?
Where are we going, family?
The fourth line, man can't tell the reason why.
Up no, we ain't got the results of this school.
Is yet still a marvel, egotistic.
The instrument test. Remember that?
All their bombs and
Where
guns.
we going from here, man?
So tell me where
What's going on in Dodds?
do we go from here?
What's up with the audit, the general report, year after year after year? Come on, man. Yo, we keeping on the job or what, family? What really going on, family? What really going on, man? Passing on that to the youths. I don't have a clue what's going on, man. Sad and sick, man. Where do we go from here, family? Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell a friend, tell a friend.
Leaders of great nations are misleaders, indulging double deals and corruption. And in their quest for absolute power,
Yes,
become
become
dictators.
dictators.
Maybe subjects they look over,
Serious.
creating a very explosive situation. Where the only way out is an armed
Revolution.
Next to that, he's faced with latest rat, stumble, great famine and drought. You tell me which way is out. The question is
Where?
do we go from here?
Where do we go from here, family?
Question to all mankind. Answer
Where are we going from here, family?
go from here? When you were both blind, man can't tell the
We
reason.
didn't put nothing in place for the youths, man.
Corruption so terrible.
Head in social media, man. Not social affairs.
Egotistic fan.
Social media, not social affairs.
Their bombs and guns and
Instead
photos.
of emergency, family.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody paying attention. Where are we going from here? Where do we go from here, family? Where do we go from here, family? Gypsy, man, classic. The Ella answered question. Years ago. Where do we go from here? Let me put the link in the comments for those who want to hear the rest of that tune there, man. Some serious social commentary. serious social commentary. Where do we go from here? Questions asked. Questions asked. Go tell a friend, family. Politically incorrect. We up and running. I was thinking that we should do something a little different tonight. Really something a little different tonight. And so we gonna get to that in a minute. The lines. I definitely want to open up the lines. It's one of those kind of nights where I would tell you the truth, man. Like, I want to hear from y'all, man. Where do we go from here? I mean, we got all these hangers across the Caribbean right now. A lot of people say the vax. Well, the thing, you can't even say certain words no more. Like, so our world we're living in, you can't even speak straight. You got to encrypt and encode everything. It's like crazy. Yes, Captain, the ship is sinking. Oh, I remember that one too, huh? Greetings, Mystic. We see you. I see you, Sonia. Love and light to you as well, family. Maria, I see you too. Big brother Wayne in the house. Yes, family. Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Well, one thing I do know is that we got to figure out what we're doing without question, and we got to figure it out soon and very soon, because the writing on the wall. The writing is on the wall. We know where this thing going. So the question is, how are we going to deal with it, man? How are we going to deal with it? We look at the state of the youth. We look at the state of the schools, Do anyone, I want the Ministry of Education, do they do like a statistics, like take all the reports from a certain school, like every year, the first form, second, third, fourth formers, and do a graph, like to see the marks and see, the performance of the students across the board, then compare each school level across the board to recognize whether the youths are really failing or is the teachers failing the youths? Do they do studies like that? Are there studies like that? There should be studies like that. We're just paying people to go to school and teach, and the truth is the class is failing, and we wonder. Of course, it's easy to blame the youths. Of course, it's easy. Like I said, their heads is in social media. The average youth has, the distractions are crazy. And of course, they don't see it because they're caught up in it. Like a person who's addicted to drugs or alcohol, they don't see the addiction. They see the next bottle or the next whatever. So it's only when you come out of it, you realize that, wow, I didn't realize that at all. Yeah, well, yeah, we try and tell you that for a while. So addiction takes many forms, but addiction isn't the issue. It's why people get addicted to things in the first place. It's usually to compensate for something else. But that's another whole conversation. But tell me what's going on, family. Where do we go from here? The number to call is 246-838-8253. Feel free to just give me a buzz. Let's have some conversation tonight, man. For real. Let's have some conversation tonight. I see you. Good night. Jack Hulin, I see you too. Love and light to you too, fam. Where do we go from here? In fact, let me just go ahead and drop this piece. I said I promised I was going to play this piece by the brother A. Green. And this actually was on the program with the brother Umar. I thought it was very interesting, and I think that it was worth sharing as well. In fact, let me go ahead and just drop this real quick.
So when they asked me to do this, there's only one piece I could do.
Pay attention.
Damn true, they got enough. But this is the best one.
Shout out to Adrian Green, by the way. Big respect, man.
Africa, we love you.
Where do we go from here, family?
Because now we understand how they've pushed and shoved you into the dimly lit corners of their history books. But we know the truth because we've searched and looked to lift our minds off of Europe's hook. And some still don't understand how much strength and willpower it took to get from under their spells and propaganda. And now them a wonder how we so proud and we daishikis and we booba. We let them know we were orphaned but we found our mother. We've been reunited with our lost sisters and brothers. Africa stretches forth her hands to her prodigal sons and daughters.
Facts.
scattered across the waters in this great disaster that them call him a author that was authored by those wicked, dirty, rotten, stinking, I won't say the word, but they try to kill every last semblance of African spirit and skill. But destiny must unfold, prophecy must fulfill. Emancipation is a mountain, it's a real steep hill. And to get to the top for we is such a thrill. That's why from Cape Town to Cairo, Barbados to Brazil, no matter where we were taken, we are African still, and we will heal those emotional scars, and we will reclaim everything that's ours, and we will redeem our ancestors, and we will retake our place amongst the stars. Africa, we love you. Better days must come, we see our sun shining through. The storm clouds are moving from above you, and glorious things again will be spoken of you. Like cradle of humanity, birthplace of civilization, bringer of some sanity to these crazy modern nations. Sankofa is the only way out of this present situation. Right. Looking backward to go forward to our future destination. Our relation to our history must be more than information. Emancipation is a feeling, it's an overwhelming emotion. Inspiring devotion and the commitment to undo the brainwashing and programming that they put us through. Africa is ancient, but we must experience it new. Africans, be persistent, and to thine own culture be true. Let our common experience keep us together like glue with that ancient social science that them call Ubuntu. Excuse me if I get a little hype, but I'm a part of a race that they're trying to wipe out of all historical sight. And now my stories come to light, and all those wrongs I come to right with songs of redemption and words to fight the oppression that got we gripped so tight. But this call, it ain't nothing fresh nor new. The prophet has already said to you, Africans unite, yay, because we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're moving to our father's land. Even if you've never been to the continent, the connections are evident. The retentions are a testament to ties that couldn't be broke nor bent. And even if you've come from far, you got to remember who you are. The scattered fragments of our souls let us recollect. And never again should we forget that we are Canaan, we are Kush, Al-Kebulan, and Kemet. We are Yoruba and Hausa and Igbo and Mandingo. We are Ashanti, Fulani, Wolof, Serer, and Koromanti. We are Ga, we are Fa, Ethiopian, Khoisan, Dinka. We are Kikuyu and Zulu, Madabele, Maasai, and Bantu. Africa, we are you.
Serious.
And I've waited for so long to say it in an African tongue, so people indulge me. Let me say it in Kiswahili. Nakupenda Africa. Africa, I love ya.
Yes, I. Rastafari, Adrian Green dropping it. Adrian Green dropping it. Y'all already know, man.
But we must.
Y'all already know, man. They got to give a big shout out to the brother right here, Adrian Green. This one right here, serious people, serious, powerful. Sankofa is the only way out of this situation. Y'all already know. Looking back to see where we came from in order to know where we're going, for sure. So the question is, where do we go from here? You see how they connect that in one? Where we going from here, family? I mean, we look around, we see the situation, we see the state of affairs. We could keep on fighting and fighting and fighting. And the thing is, someone said to me, nah, we got to keep fighting. I said, yeah. But right now, the biggest fight is right here in the mind. We got to emancipate. Well, Emancipation Day is coming up. And you know, I'm not big on the word emancipation because it doesn't really mean what we think it means. It doesn't. It's another hoax that they told us. What we have to do is liberate ourselves from mental slavery. Note the words I'm using. Not emancipate, but liberate ourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. You know, the mind is where this battle is being played out. And unless we liberate ourselves, because to emancipate might make you comfortable with your enslavement. Once you're comfortable with your enslavement, you might be okay with that. You know, you got your house, you got your degree, you got your social status, whatever it is, you know, your government job, whatever you have that you're comfortable with. But you're not free. And some folks don't want to be free. Some folks don't want to govern themselves, don't want to deal with self-governing and being responsible and seeking higher self, higher consciousness, knowing self, you know thyself. So that's quite all right. But there's a whole different set that's on that path. And that's the road we trod in, you know. So what that don't apply to us. We render the things to Caesar that are Caesar's, but we definitely gonna give the things to God that are God's. And what is God's is our sovereign state of being. You know what I'm saying? That's just reality. You know, this whole thing with our birth rights and our birth certificate and this kind of language, if we stop and think about it, you know, this whole ID and citizenship here in Barbados and whatnot, this enrollment in the plantocracy, you know, the social security and all this national insurance and this kind of stuff. They're talking about your national insurance, which is all not a joke, by the way. It's all a joke. But we know this, family. So the question I'm being asked, the question I'm posing to the family today is where we go from here. Someone said, well, you know, thanks for the program back on. That's good and dandy. And so give us a call and give us your thoughts. You know, the numbers at the bottom of the screen, area code 246-838-8253. You can call us direct or via WhatsApp and give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts. Brother said Adrian Green. That was fair and accurately spoken. For sure. Saying Kofa, for sure. Yes, Daffodil. I see you, Daffodil. The Igbo people, for sure. Rastafari, Ashe. The brother we talked with the teachers earlier. I see Wayne dropped a comment regarding the teachers. Results from the first form at St. Leonard's Boys. It would be interesting to see the results of other first forms from other schools. Have that comparative analysis. That's my point, brother. Analyze all forms, and then do the comparative analysis, and let's juxtapose them and see, what really going on, you know, and do it in a graph so it's real, you know, we can get the visuals, man. Like, yeah, that'd be nice to see. But I bet they do have those statistics. They just don't release those to the public because I'm sure they want to know whether their program is effective or not. And by saying that, you know, you would think that what I mean is that the education system is working. Well, in truth, it is working. It's working to produce the 40% that will go on and the 60% that will be permanent on the class. See, but our students don't know this. Our young people don't know this, that the system is designed to make them fail. So they buy into this idea, they go through it, and then they have their own issues being developed, insecurities and whatnot, fear of failing. So they actually fail because they don't want to fail, so they don't do any work anyhow. And it's just a cycle that repeats itself, perpetuates itself year in, year out. And we go through this with our children year in, year out. But all I'm saying is at this point, we got to take an active role and realize that if we don't do something, we don't map out their future, then at some point they're going to realize that we sold them out for comfort with our enslavement and hope that they do the same thing to the generation that's going to follow them. You know, are we leading by example? What example are we leading them and setting for them? And I have to say we because we in this together. So the question is, where do we go from here? Of course, they must have that. Of course, I know they have it, but they're not going to release it. I think parents should demand this from these. I mean, start demanding stuff. Don't ask them for it. Tell them you want to see it. Don't ask them, do y'all have this and do y'all have that? No. I would like to see the comparative analysis. the first form grades across the board. That doesn't involve no names, so you don't have to say anybody's name, but it should show you the statistics and how the children perform and whether or not the teachers are indeed effective or they're not, in which case we know they're not. I mean, I'm just saying. And we know they're not. I'm just saying. So where do we go from here, family? Where are we going? Where do we go from here is the question. Alfred, I see you, my brother. Peace and love to you too, man. It may sound crazy, right? But think about it. Shout out to the Fade family, by the way. Shout out the whole Fade family putting in work, man. Like, give thanks for y'all, man, for making things happen. Yeah, it's such an honor. Where are we going from here, family? Where are we going? Where are we going? I noticed that they talk about the school, the vaccines that are required for the schools come September, and what will be made mandatory or not mandatory. Well, they didn't use the word mandatory. They say be added to the list of vaccines that are required for school. The reality is, if you haven't been told yet, none of those are required. None of them are necessary unless you choose to do so. And it's a decision you get to make with you and your family. You don't have to have that. There's ways that you can inform them that you're not interested in that stuff. So, if you know somebody who might not know that, make sure you pass that message and let them know that, yes, the children did 11 plus examination, the common entrance. And so one of the things they tell them is that you have to get your shots. The reality is they don't have to get none of that stuff at all. It's not a requirement. That has nothing to do with education. That's health. And the truth is, there are folks who have questions about those shots. So it isn't a requirement. And if you want to know anything about that, feel free to call the number on your screen as well, area code 242-838-8253. And we'll be sure to plug you into someone who can better advise you accordingly with regards to what to do next. So what he's saying, St. Leonard's is an all-boys school. They can't mess with our young kings. No matter how slow your son starts out, the school works miracles on those boys. It's interesting that you should say that, because as at an all-boys school, you would think that you would see a difference in the performance because there are less distractions. Well, namely the girls. The girls aren't present, so the young boys are perhaps more focused. But in light of all the different things going on and different issues on topics on gender, I mean, you got to be really concerned as well. I mean, once upon a time, you may not even think nothing about it, like, no big deal. You got to be worried about it in these days, because, again, all kind of different things are happening, and no one is coming forward any results, any sound doctrine or reason. Everything is classified now. Everything is closed, and everybody's going on as business as usual. Now, this crop over season, you're going to get less response other than what's the next fete, what's the next event, what's the next party. So long as I got my rum. And this is the mindset that they are pushing on the people. Don't worry about it. Just be entertained. Be entertained. Be entertained. Don't worry about what happened in the government. Don't worry about the different debts and different issues going on socially and regionally and internationally. Just go and have fun. Go to your fetes, get tipsy, numb the pain, go powder yourself, disguise yourself, do all you got to do, but just don't pay attention. Do whatever you got to do, just don't pay attention. So the question is, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I would like to think that we are actually at a point where, we recognize that if we do not do something, what is inevitable is inevitable. So then we sit back and we have conversations in our churches, in our rum shop, on the radio stations and whatnot, and we have these conversations. What we do not have is plausible solutions. Not necessarily perfect solution, but solutions to the issues that are arising daily. We could even go down the road about the side effects they claim are linked to different jabs as well, in light of what's going on locally and regionally. We could do all that stuff. What are some of these solutions to it? You know, is it another government that's needed? Another party? We need another party to come on in. Let's discuss that for a second. Another political party. Let's hypothetically do something here. So hypothetically, elections are called tomorrow. Okay, you're gonna see all the ants come out the woodwork. I mean, you're gonna think somebody sprinkled sugar on the floor. Sugar on the floor. You're gonna see all the ants crawl out their holes. You know, you're gonna see all of them crawl out. And the thing is this though, you'll know then who are the players who got skin in the game, because then you're going to hear, no, this body got a party, this body got a party, that body got a party. All these parties. But what are the solutions? Is a new party the solution? Well, let's look at it. Let's understand Barbados as a corporation, as a colonial entity, because Barbados didn't just start being Barbados. It was a sovereign land with indigenous folks before, and then it got caught up into a business transaction with some colonial people, mainly from Europe, entered an agreement, and from then till now, the cooperation known as Barbados has been working in Barbados. And we went from the colony, they went to the whole emancipation phase, which is funny because right after that, we were still on this plantation as a colony. It was still a colony. And at some point, they said, well, hold on a minute, let's give you independence in 1966, which, by the way, came after His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I stopped in Barbados and spoke to Barbados Parliament and informed Barbados that it's a free nation, that is part of the territory of the Ethiopian Empire, and that the colonial people that be no longer has jurisdiction over this territory, and in essence informed the people that they were free, which is funny because right after that, they talked about independence. Well, let's get independence. Well, when we are free, we want to break away from England. Then let's do our own thing. And guess what they did? Rather than follow the instructions of the emperor, the only nation in the world, Ethiopia, that was never colonized outside of Russia and Liberia, but you can't. That's two different conversations completely. What they did instead was offer independence to the people by way of Britain. So they allowed Britain to basically manipulate the situation, give them a constitution and a whole bunch of other documents. Well, listen, tell you what, you guys want to really do this? Well, the emperor, he said this and that, but don't listen to him. Look, just follow our lead and our guidance. We'll navigate your steps towards your independence. I see you, Monica. Greetings to you too. Yeah, that's going to start happening the minute you touch on certain things. Paying attention. So what did our leaders do? Like I said, they went for it, hook, line, and sinker. Nah, don't worry. They can't. They don't cut the program. They don't cut the program. They don't cut the program. If they was cutting it, it'd be off entirely. But I'll tell you something, family. At this stage, right, we got to realize that there's a whole different reality going on here in Barbados. And if we don't recognize it and we don't do something about it, our children and our children's children are going to inherit something, man, that is going to make the previous circumstances look like an all-inclusive hotel stay at the Hilton. What we cannot do is sit back and observe and do nothing. I think King said it, if you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, do something. Do something. Don't sit back. Do something. Look around you and think of ways you could be empowering yourself in your community. Look around you and think of ways that you could strengthen those around you. Look around you and think of ways that you could uplift yourself, your house, and your community. Look around you and think of ways you could uplift your church. Look around you and think of ways you can uplift your school. Gen Z, as they so affectionately call. What are we going to do with them? I mean, they're here, they're looking, they're wondering, and yet there's so many traps for them. How do we lead them away from these things? How do we navigate their steps towards what we say is the inheritance, and not trap them in the digital era where they're going to be digitalized and become slaves to a digital system, and there's nothing they can do about it? Why would we do that? We must find ways, we must find solutions, family. And I think that having conversations like this, platforms like this, where we can call and have our say without being worrying about being censored to some degree. And I say some degree because they own the platform, they control this, net 2, not net 3, but net 2. So you can only do but so much on the platforms they give you the platform to do it on. That's why we have to have our own, create our own, so we don't have these restrictions. Imagine this on a different platform. Now y'all can just log in the same way we do this on YouTube, where the restrictions are not what it is, and we can just speak freely. Working on it. Maybe a website. Stream live to your own website. Just log on. Forget YouTube. But you know what? The world is watching. So you play by the rules of the world. Stolen African, I see you. You can't leave children out of the conversation regarding their future. You can't leave children out of the conversation regarding our futures. Our future is the children. So the reality is, the minute you discuss the future and you're not discussing children, you're not discussing future. You're discussing your demise. And that's a quote right there. Y'all can frame that and post that. That's a reality. That is a reality. Crazy as it might sound, man. I wanted to post this really quick. Let me see if I can find it. Drop this real quick. Y'all can screenshot this if you can. If you can screenshot it, screenshot it. If you can see it, see it. If you can capture it, capture it. Wait, not seeing it. Is it here? Is this it? No. Strange enough. Not seeing it. Nevertheless, family, what are your thoughts tonight, family? Somebody said, greetings to you too, and salutations, sis. Stolen African, I see you. Blessings to you and the whole family as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend, family. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I know right now you're going to have all kind of people having all kind of celebrations and all kind of stuff going on. Going on. So what are we going to do? Where do we go from here, family? You going to Spring Garden? Are we going to take a deeper look at the situation, man, and see if we can find our way out of it? What are we doing, family? What are we doing? Let me see if we can find this image here now. There you go. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to post something tonight on the page as well. What time is it, man? Well, I'm going to say this, family. I'm going to say this to make this clear. We can, if we like, continue to just sit back and observe. That's not a problem. Is that what you're called to do? Then so be it. But there's some of us who are called to do and take a different position. And that's the position that we're going to have to take. So if that's the case, you know that they say the revolution will not be televised. It's because it has to happen in the mind first. So while we out here getting our minds right, and you're in the comfort of your space, observing it, you got to make it your mind at some point where you stand. And if you're not sure where you stand, just look at where you stand. That should be a dead giveaway. Let me switch this real quick. Okay. The revolution begins in the mind. Well, family, we know that, man. We know that. We know that. Definitely know that. And we're going to keep pushing the vibes, man. And that's it, long and short. Long and short. Simple as that. Short and sweet. And it is minutes to 9. So I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to be out of here in a few minutes. But before I do so, I want to give you all one little message. Just a brief message. There's a story, that goes back to Africa, and it talks about, well, I guess you could say the Bible as well, because, it's kind of connected in some way. When it talked about a particular individual that was part of the nation, and the people had kind of pushed him out a bit, the Africa is saying, the children, what is it? If the children don't feel the warmth of the village, they'll burn it down to feel it. Well, this particular young man, because it said his family was not of a certain social status, his mother and stuff. I think he'd say he was a bastard child as well. And they had, pushed him out to the society. Like, he was an outcast. We don't need you. We got it running, and, we have our degrees and stuff. We have our universities and our educators, and we got it covered. So they were going on, doing their thing, governing and making a mess, really. And other nations were just observing and thinking, how can we go and capture that? How can we go and take that from them? Because they don't even recognize the value they have. And so they were being invaded and stuff. And basically they were losing as well, because these outsiders would come in and have what they call is a hostile takeover risk. What that means is that they would buy out the infrastructure because their pockets were much longer. So they buy out the governing body, they buy out the businesses, start to control the things that control the nation. And it wasn't working out in their favor, those who were originally there. And so they reached a point where they didn't know what to do. So they said, hey, what about that guy? He always has some ideas and stuff. Why don't we go and ask him a question? Would he come and fight for us and save us? And long story short, though, the brother, they went to the brother, and I don't think they apologized for treating him like trash, really. But they said, if you come back, we'll welcome you in, and we'll do this and do that. So he was like, I don't need to help y'all. Y'all are no good. Y'all have been mean to me all this time. And short story long, he went back and he fought and he won. And he kept winning different battles for them over and over and over and over. And they regained their position. They regained the status they had. I say that to say, family, our children's lives right now, our future lives, our future generations, our future is hinged directly on what we do today that will impact on our future, our children's lives tomorrow. We all have decisions to make, but those decisions have to be made. So the question is, are we going to stand up and do what is necessary to ensure that they have the type of future that they deserve to have, as opposed to have to now deal with the fallout and the backlash of what we would have put in place and what we would have allowed by virtue of just sitting back and doing nothing. We all have decisions to make. Are we going to be comfortable now and allow the children to be uncomfortable later, or are we going to be uncomfortable now so that they can be comfortable later? Are we going to make those sacrifices today so that they may live tomorrow? We all have these decisions to make, family, but the decisions we have to make. Start having conversations, like I said before, at home. Start discussing at home, how are we going forward, family? How are we going to be able to supply our foods? Where are we getting our foods from? Start having these conversations and see how far it goes. Start having the conversation. Just have the conversation. Because at this point in time, the writing is on the wall. I mean, it is clear and it's evident. Let us not take for granted that which was given unto us, so that we can make sure we invest it wisely into our future, which is our youth. Let's just make those decisions, family, because it's that time. It's that time. Simple, and sweet. Anyhow, I said I wasn't going to stay on too long tonight. I definitely can, because I see you all in a minute. I see we open up the lines so we can have a conversation. And I know that some folks get shy, but that's what it is. Maybe not. But what we will do, however, is proceed forward with some plans. So there's some things I want to announce in the up and coming days. Stay tuned. And we're going to take a little spin, but you'll see it. I won't even say it. You will see it. Most likely Wednesday, not Wednesday, Friday for sure. But most likely Wednesday, but not Friday for sure. but you will see it. We gonna yeah, keep that secret. It's a secret. It's a secret. So you want to hear it? Come Wednesday. I'm gonna tell you the secret. I'm not even gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you the secret. Yeah, things are happening, man, and it's such a good feeling. Such a really good feeling. It puts you in a place of bliss, a place of peace to realize, you know what? We done got the formula, man. We got the formula, man. It's about progress, family. If what you're doing don't enhance the future and change the dynamics of things, then what's the point of doing it? What's the point of doing it? It's forward movements we're dealing with, man. He said, check my comments, see if those points were valid. Mystic, where you at? Mystic, you always got valid points. You know that. I don't know if that's a comment directly towards somebody or not, but for sure, you know that your points are always on point. Always, man. Or discomfort for their comfort. Not even a question. Not even a question. I like that. For sure. For sure. For sure. Nah, it's all good, family. Your points are always relevant. I told someone that people, they got, you know, there are three types of people who watch politically incorrect. There are three types of people who watch politically incorrect. And I'll outline the three. There are those that click onto it and they'll watch it, you know. So when you thought of that program last night, politically incorrect, man, I was just watching this Rasta man talking, you know, I just talking, ain't got a clue he talking about. Then there's the other fella, click on, you know, you watch that program last night, politically incorrect. What you think of the Rasta man? What you think of the program? Man, what he's saying is true, man. Like, yo, well, I understand what he's saying, man, but you know, what you could do. And then there's the third type of individual that watch politically incorrect. Yeah. Those are the individuals that call that number below on the screen, 246-838-8253, and ask a question. You want to get involved in the program, you want to get involved in the movement, you want to get involved in the plans that's happening, give it a call, 246-838-8253. Enough said. This is the season for doers, man, not talkers. This is the season for doers, not talkers, man, at all, man. You know, bottom line. And that's it. Like my brother just said, you can't leave the children out of the conversation regarding their future. Not possible, man. It can't happen. It can't happen. You gotta include them. You gotta include them. Good night to you, family. Ali, I see you. Good night, family. We can't discuss future without discussing the youths. So the youths are coming. That's just the bottom line. I hope we prepare for it, because what they have to say, mind-blowing. That's just the reality. Night to the family, man. The family. Listen, you know, when you reach a stage where you can have young people speak their truth, whether you like it or not, and recognize that they have so much to say, we can learn so much from them. It's like, yeah, it's that kind of program, because adults, you know, always have the answers, which is funny because all the problems we have are generated by adults. It's crazy. Nevertheless, we're moving forward, family. Having said that, yes, family, hope everything is well. I sincerely feel the same way for you as well. I trust that all is well. What you can do is when we come off the live, give me a shout, call me forward. Not a problem. You call me forward on Facebook or direct, either way. In fact, yeah, do so for sure. Mystic, I didn't see you too, for sure. Teachers should be shifted around each year. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. That would only be necessary if the teachers are indeed at the level they need to be at. The reality is, because we call them teachers don't mean that they're teaching or they're educators. We have a lot of people who are passionate, and I salute all you on that. But if you feel a type of way and you're a teacher, but what I just said is you ain't talking about. It's you ain't talking about. Because those who love the work and love the art and the craft of molding the minds of the future to the point where they're empowering the future, then yes. But those who are just repeating the curriculum that they were taught, that is just producing the same colonial mindset, use part of the problem, whether unknowingly or not, you know, for real. And that's not throwing a stone at you. I'm just saying, if you don't know that you're part of the problem, then you're a bigger problem. A lot of them love the pay. You're right. They don't really love the job. A lot of them just love the pay. But we're gonna deal with it, family. Like I said, we're gonna take it to a different level, and we're gonna touch it. We're gonna touch it on that level, because something has to give. It can't be what it was. We need more male teachers in the system too. Well, not just male, but manly male. Because you got male that is feminine male. Not that that's an issue if the male is operating his femininity from a masculine perspective, as opposed to his femininity from a feminine perspective. That might be a bit misleading to some. And I'm not saying that to say that there's something wrong with the individual. I'm simply saying to say that it might be misleading. It might be a bit misleading. And someone asks you, well, what's wrong with that? Well, what's not wrong with it is the question. We're at a point where we're going to have to draw a defined line. It's not an issue. It's not an issue for adults or children. It's just straightforward. It is simply straightforward. So people got to work out their own identity. I guess I shouldn't even say that. That sounds like I'm non-binary. I don't know. Not that you got to work with your own identity in that you don't know who you are, but in terms of you got to go into yourself and know who you are from a conscious perspective. And so having said that, there's nothing else one could say. That's just reality. We can't talk about going forward and not be realistic about certain lines that we have to draw. Be very clear on these lines too. Be very clear on them. Make no mistake about them. Absolutely no mistake about them. I see you, Gemma. I see you. You got my message earlier. So teacher need to be a vocation and not a job. Yeah, well, serious. Somebody said not just males, but alpha males, proper role models. Not much hens. We can't call them hens, man. Hens in the pot. Oh man, y'all are too much. Y'all try and behave. Upsurge in queen behaviors among the children. Stability and passion is a reality. It's a reality. You know what I find though, family? Is that, when you're growing up back in the days, there was a school called, was it Bay Primary? That lady called Miss McDonald's. Oh man, trauma. Miss McDonald's was no joke. Anybody who knows Miss McDonald's knows she was no joke. And so when Miss McDonald's would pull you on side and she would speak to you, I mean, you knew she was trying to bring something great out of you. The only problem is that Miss McDonald had a heavy hand. And Miss McDonald, despite she had passion for teaching and wanted to see the children do better, Miss McDonald had a heavy hand and a heavy voice. And I'm sure I went to Miss McDonald class once. Once. I knew I wasn't going to last there. We was definitely not going to get along, man. Nah, I wasn't going back. They sent me back. I would cut class. Like, nah, this lady out here, she done lost her mind. But it wasn't that she lost her mind. She was doing what she was taught to do. And that kind of mindset isn't the mindset that it can't be one approach to all children. Cannot be. And that's what we have produced, one approach to all. And it can't be that, man. Can't be that. Somebody said Jemmy said she begged to disagree about the alpha male. My money is on the sigma male. You see, we get into these Greek terms, I get lost. Sigma, alpha, beta, delta, gamma, all kind of. I don't got a clue, man. Like I lost already. I know man is man, full stop. Man is man, full stop. Anything else is something else. You know what I mean? Mine is balance. Full stop. You know, so as Rastafari, Haile Selassie first. So I can't even speak on, you know, the other ones, but you can shed some light on that, Gem, if you like. That'd be nice. Here we go. Thank you. Alpha males are arrogant and belligerent. I beg to differ, but you know, I beg to differ. I definitely beg to differ. I think that, well, let's go a little further. We look at, let's say gorillas, for example. It's probably a really bad example. Let's say gorillas. And we have the alpha male and the gorilla, the tribe. I like to think that we say arrogant and belligerent. I think that nobody seeks the security and protection of the whole clan, in a sense, more brilliantly than the alpha male. I think society has redefined what alpha means. In fact, I think if we do the history on that term alpha male and where it came from and where it originated from and where they first started using it, we recognize that it probably has something to do with the struggles of the black man in perhaps the 70s or the 60s, when we started to stand up and say enough is enough and start to form groups like the Panthers and the Peace Stone Rangers. Yeah, I said it, Peace Stone Rangers. And that's later became the Bloods and the Crips, you know, the 5, the 6. Oh, they're all connected. The point I want to make is anytime men stand up and say enough is enough, they're classified as being a certain way. But it's not that they're arrogant or they are belligerent. I'm sure that there are ways that some males do function that way. And I would actually beg to think that that might be in their emotions is why they behave arrogant and belligerent. And alpha males are definitely not emotional creatures, are not driven by emotions. You know, they would say that emotions are a feminine trait. Women are more emotional than men. In reality, men who function in their emotions, I don't know if you can classify them as alpha. I think alpha men are more balanced. But again, I'm speaking from my perspective. So I would like to see that. Sigma male is a slang term for a successful, confident, and independent man who does not conform to traditional societal norms. Sigma. What that term mean? Where that term came from? What does that actually mean in the Greek philosophy? That term sigma, because again, it, like you said, it's slang. It's a term, but with that slang and with that term comes an energy. You know, so what is it saying? What is it really saying? Etymologically speaking, what does sigma mean? What does it represent? What does it stand for? We need to examine the sigma male. I don't know. But like you said, you know, that's the term, that's the slang. We could look at that at some other time and define it. That'd be interesting to see what that is. But somebody said alpha male get the job done. This is quite interesting. You know, it's funny, and I gotta admit it. Hearing these Greek terms, alpha, sigma, you know, kappa, beta, all these different things, you know, where's the African term? Give me an African term for sigma male. Is it man? You know, give me an African. Is it king? Is it chief? Give me the African term so I can relate, because I can't relate to the Greek. I had to call Frondel Stewart on that one. She said balanced. Hell no. She said balanced. Hell no. I wonder where that one come from. You need to examine. Well, look, you know what? I think what is necessary at this point is that we have another program. We did the females and that whatnot. Let's discuss this thing called alpha male, and also discuss this thing called alpha female. Maybe we can have that conversation. What is an alpha male? What is an alpha female? Let's have those conversations. Let's have those. Somebody said Zulu. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody said Zulu. Somebody said the Empress said chief. Mystic got it down to king. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. I like I said, I don't know the sorority names and terms. So I know that I got another one here. Hold on a second. Kwaku. Did I pronounce that right? Kwaku. Yeah, help me on that one. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I love it. I love it. Emperor. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's funny because we could discuss it and we can have all different terms. The reality, the fact is, it is the behavior, not just the title, because you can have a title and behave different, but the behavior of the individual. Because we know throughout history, individuals who had the title king, chief, emperor, and we've not always been so good, at least according to the book called the Bible. Not all of them was good. Some of them was real tyrants. You know what I mean? Or it was correct. Okay, got you. Or people did not need labels because we understand balance and our place in the grand scheme of things. I like that, and I'll even add to it and say that the reason why we did not need a label is because the label did not define us. What we did, what we do in the society is what defined us. You know, it was our actions, it was our works that defined who we were, and today society, what defines us again is what we do. That defines who we are. So I agree with both, with all of you in terms of the positions. I think, Gemma, you're 100% accurate. I just think that maybe the labels is what's misdirecting us, because a person call himself Alpha or Sigma or whatever else doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's the works that they do that define who they are. And I think we should really gauge people based on their works. Based on their works, man. Because you can have all the titles in the world and it don't mean anything. I mean, again, going back to what I said earlier, the emperor came here and spoke to the prime minister. Well, at the time, it wasn't prime minister, it was a premier. The premier. The emperor. Not the Queen of England, not the King of England, but the emperor who's in charge of the empire, and gave instructions. And these servants here, man, made a mockery of it. That's why we find ourselves in these positions right now. So for me, it's about the works of the man and the works of the woman that define who we are. Because you have all the labels in the world, and it don't mean nothing. All the degrees and the MBAs and the PhDs and all these philosophies and ideologies and sociologies and ideologies and whatever else is the works. Like I said, man, where do we go from here is the question. I want us to all ponder that. Where are we going from here? What are we doing now? What's going on next? Because soon from now, you're going to hear election. You're going to see all kind of new parties popping up. You're going to see the traditional ones, the B's and the D's, the jokers and the deck of cards. You're going to see the rest of cards coming up. But all they ever tell you, all they ever ask you to do is seek comfort with your enslavement. None of them, and I'm going to say this again. None of them is talking liberation. None. Because in order to liberate the people, you can't be a part of the colonial establishment. You ever see the queen on the chessboard try to usurp the king? They're all working in tandem. So even if you have liberation intentions for your party and you're moving forward with that mindset, and you could even manage to get to the point where you actually have a voice where the people do listen, you really think the corporation and the security forces will just let you walk up in there and do that? Nah. I always wonder why you don't see any close brethren running for politics. I always wondered about that. Why the close brethren don't be involved in politics? Like, like they're running for seats, that kind of stuff. Running for, why is always the lawyers, this kind of thing? The Bar Association. And a few grassroots individuals that, think they Hamila. Shout out to Hamila, by the way. The original grassroots politician. Got a lot of newcomers that ain't got a clue what's going on. But the reality, family, is, politics is politics. Politics is politics. It's just no way around it. If we talk about governing the people, we talk about nation building. If we talk about nation building and sovereignty, we're talking nonsense, man. So sovereignty don't need Sovereignty does not need to be identified or labeled as free to be free. Sovereignty starts right here. Look, the revolution of the mind. You got to be free in your mind first, man. Once you're free in your mind, then you can accomplish anything. So once these new parties are free consciously, are not bound religiously or politically, because if they're bound religiously and they're bound politically, or rather politically, then you're going to get exactly the same thing, just redressed without any redress. I know a lot of people will miss that. Anyhow, I up out of here. What time is it? So, Jamon, that label, alpha male, defines men who, man, crush people on their way up to get their job. Well, like I said, we're going to discuss that. I think we need to have that conversation. Because alpha is the first. And I think the one that's at the head, the highest one, would have to be the most balanced one, the most compassionate one, the most loyal one, the most loving one, the one that sees it all. In fact, let me speak on a quote by His Majesty. And I had saved this for or circle. He said, in order for one to build a true character like that unto the Most High, one must feel the needs of others more than their own. We must live for our brothers and our sisters and be selfless. Be our brother's keeper. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Yeah, that's alpha. And that was coming from Emperor Haile Selassie the First, the Alpha and Queen Omega. So I think we need to have some redefinitions for these terms that we have been fed through social media and other ways where people characterize them incorrectly. I think it's just a matter of being categorically characterized incorrectly, because the one who is the first has to be the most compassionate, has to be the first at everything. So we could agree at this point to revisit this and have this conversation going forward. I think it's a good one. Somebody said wrong. Yeah, to be continued then. To be continued. Wrong facts. Wrong facts. That's a simplistic way of looking at it. I think the conversation deserves compassion. I think we have a comment here. All the titled people have been educated by the system and behave in a certain way against the people. Well, there you go. You see, that's it right there, Gemma. So what we, the people, classify as alpha are those in the system who has redefined it. For example, the word gay used to be happy, but those in the system has redefined it. We can't allow the redefinition of things to take us off and rebranding, I should say, of things. So perhaps in today's society, those who do those things are considered the alpha. I follow your point correctly. But what I disagree with is that that's not what it originally was. It can't possibly be. Because according to the Bible, God said, I'm the Alpha and the Omega. So are we suggesting that God is not as good as he claims to be? Like I said, I think a lot of these terms have been rebranded deliberately to misdirect us and take us away from who we ought to be striving to be, and rather settle for some other form of mediocrity by relabeling ourselves based on trends and new social norms. Let's explore it, family. Let's have that conversation. I think it's worth having. And I think that with the wisdom of the ages and the ancestors that dwell and guide us, we can come to some amicable resolution on that. So going forward, alpha male, alpha female, we need to have that conversation. And I would like to think that some of you same participants tonight will come and sit on an open panel where we can have this dialogue. Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. Miss Critz Lloyd, see you. Shout out to the family. You and all the family. I dare. First, you have to love yourself first to understand how you should love others. I totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. Now we're gonna have this, man. Oh my! Oh, the man showed up, man. The etymology of the word never change. Facts. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're gonna discuss this, family. We're gonna definitely discuss this. I think it's worth the conversation. And I like the fact y'all like to comment, but nobody want to dial that number at all, man. That number right there, like, I know. I think people probably call me a money more than they call that number. They were more risk calling me in and call. Ta-da! Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, they can't get me out the race, man. Anyhow, family, you got a tune they're gonna drop right here real quick too. Hold on to life.
Tell me, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here,
For
family?
all the struggle and the pain, only Jah knows. Only Jah knows.
Big tune, man. Pull that tune right there, family. It's a big tune, man. It's a big tune. Hold on to life, family. Where do we go from here? That's the question that everybody's asking. Where do we go from here? So all I'm going to say, family, ponder the question. Answer yourself that question. Answer your family that question. Answer your colleagues at work. Answer your classmates, you know, your brothers and sisters in the church, you know. Just answer the question, man. Where do we go from here? You know, what's next? Because the writing on the wall, family, it is clear. It is clear. We moving forward, Rastafari. It's forward movements where we going from here. I love it. I love it. We calling that Gemma Richard. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That's right, for sure. I'm looking forward to the alpha male and female, alpha males to rise up and let us take back our country. You know what? See that number on the screen right there? 246-838-8253. Give it a call, Mystic. That's all I can tell you. I done talk. Yes, family. Where do we go from here, man? Where do we go from here, man? The volume on it. The volume on it. The volume on it.
Tell me, where do we go from here?
Where we going, family?
Through all the struggle and the
Where we
pain,
going, family?
only Jah knows. Only Jah knows.
Yes.
Tell me, where do we go from here?
Where we going? Where we going?
Through all the struggle and the
Going to
pain,
Zion, family.
only Jah knows.
We're going to Zion.
Only Jah knows.
Going to Zion, man.
Destruction to that they dedicate. Global domination, no, that's their debate. And who they can't control, the will annihilate.
Yes.
There's no hope for the human race. All I see here is frustration and rage. It's hard to live your life with one foot in the grave. Some of us are worthy, but others are brave. But who will survive to tell the tale? Tell the tale.
Yes.
Where do we go from here?
Where we going, family?
All the struggle and the
Where we going, family? Where we going?
only Jah knows.
Only Jah know, family.
Only Jah knows.
Only Jah know, family.
Tell me, where do we
Go to Armageddon
here?
all day, every day.
The struggle and the pain, only Jah
Go
knows.
to Generation Z, man.
Only Jah
Gen Z, man. Y'all next.
the blessings to others a curse. Time after time we've been through the worst. Some of us been killed while others been hurt. The innocent blood not stop wash the earth. Desperation for freedom a constant outburst. Some seek salvation while others divert. In everything you do you got to put the Father first. Our desolation now go stop. Take the earth. Take the earth. Where do we go from here? Through all the struggle and the pain, only Jah knows. Only Jah knows. Tell me, where do we go from here?
Where we going, family?
Through all the struggle and the
Where
pain,
we going, family?
only Jah.
Going forward to Zion, man.
Only Jah knows.
Yes. Forward movement, family. Forward movement. Forward movement. Tell a friend, family. We have
War
hundreds
and
of videos.
destruction to that they dedicate. Global domination, no, that's their debate.
Yes.
And who they can't control, they will annihilate. Seems there's no hope for the human race. All I see here is frustration and rage. It's hard to live your life with one foot in the grave. Some of us are worthy, but others are
Tell a friend, family.
survive.
Politically incorrect, man.
Tell the tale. Where do we go from here?
Where we going? Where we going? Where we going?
Through all the struggle and the pain,
Where we going, family?
only Jah knows.
Where we going, family?
Only Jah knows. Tell me, where do we go from here?
Yes.
Through all the struggle and the pain, only Jah knows.
Did y'all know, family?
Jah knows. Where do we go?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Do we go?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Do we go?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Do we go?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Tell me, where do we go?
Zion, family.
Where do we? Where do we go?
Where we going, family? We going to Zion, man. We going to Zion. We going to Zion, family, for sure, for sure. Yo, give thanks, family, for staying the course. Everyone, y'all already know, politically incorrect, life direct. Out to here, my people. Out to here, that's right. According to Zion, family. Going to the promised land. We leave in Egypt. Those who want to stay could stay. Feel free to be comfortable with your uncomfortability. Straight. As me in my house, I leave the last, the first Empress Reserve Menace. We're asking for a rise. The only balance to be with. Nothing else.
Global domination, no, that's their debate.
Nothing
And who
else,
they
family.
can't control,
Tell a
they
friend,
will
tell a friend,
annihilate.
family. Y'all already know,
Seems
man.
there's no hope for the human race. All I see here is frustration and
Can't wait
rage.
till
It's
Wednesday.
hard to live your life with one foot in the grave.
It's all good,
Some
family.
of us are worthy, but others are brave.
Crystal,
But
thanks
who
to the
will
family always, man.
survive to tell the tale? Tell the tale.
Tell the tale, family.
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here, family?
Through all the struggle and the pain,
See y'all on Wednesday, family. Kinetic energy, heart. Said nothing about heart, but energy towards you all. Nothing about love. What it say? What it say? Nothing about love, man. Nothing but love, man. One love, sister. All you know already, man.
Only Jah knows. Some said it's a blessing, to others a curse. Time after time, we've been through the worst. Some of us been killed, while others been hurt.
Yes.
The innocent blood, not stop wash the hurt. Desperation for freedom, a constant outburst. Some seek salvation, while others divert. In everything you do, you got to put the Father first. Our desolation, now go stop, take the earth. Take the earth.
Cheers, family.
Where do we go from here? Through all the struggle and the pain, only Jah knows. Only Jah knows. Tell me, where do we go from here? Through all the struggle and the pain, only Jah knows. Only Jah knows.
Only Jah know, family. See y'all on Wednesday, family. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. Right and
For
early
the
out.
destruction to that they dedicate. Global domination, no, that's their debate. And who they can't control, they will annihilate. Seems there's no hope for the human race. All I see here is frustration and rage.
Yes.
It's hard to live your life with one foot in the grave. Some of us are worthy, but others are brave. But you will survive to tell the tale. Tell the tale. Where do we go from here? Through all the struggle and the pain, only Jah knows. Only Jah knows. Tell me, where do we go from here? Through all the struggle and the pain, only Jah